So, in Imo State, Hope Uzodimma of the APC, who actually lost in 2019 and was awarded victory by the Supreme Court, has now won re-election according to the Electoral Commission, INEC. And in Kogi State, the APC candidate, Usman Ododo, was also announced as the winner by INEC, replacing the incumbent APC governor, Yahaya Bello, whose 2 terms have run out. That result has been rejected by both the SDP and the PDP, whose candidates, Muritala Ajaka and Senator Dino Melaye, came 2nd and 3rd, respectively, according to INEC. There have been lots of complaints about rigging of the elections, as well as the bypassing of the Beavers technological device used to identify and accredit voters, results sheets that were said to have been pre-filled or not filled at all, etc. So from an opposition perspective, far from INEC cleaning up its tattered image, it seems like this off-season election has been more of the same.
To show agents result sheets, and that result sheets have been written. There's a massive protest in all polling units in Ogorimagongo local government of Kogi State right now. The result sheets have been, filled and tampered with already. And people are refusing to accredit, people are refusing to vote, and they are insisting that plain result sheet must be shown to agents in accordance to electoral law. If they refuse to show you result sheets in all polling units across the state, don't accredit, don't vote, protest and resist it. This is democracy. We must protect our votes, we must protect the process, we must make sure that all the regulations are being observed and respected.
That's Senator Dino Melaye, and Senator Melaye is the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Kogi State. He rejects the results that were announced by INEC, and he joins me now in the studio. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, good evening, my brother.
Coming in. I mean, for a guy who's been through the rough and tumble of a governorship election, you look pretty calm and relaxed to me. What is your reaction to this INEC declared result in Kogi State? We heard a bit of it there.
Anyway, I want to start by saying that there was no election in Kogi State. What we had is vote allocation by INEC, and INEC is a great disappointment. INEC is a fraud. INEC lacks integrity. INEC and Mahmood Yakubu, they are the bane of our democratic development. They are the reason why we are where we are. And I think big shame on Mahmood Yakubu, because this off-season election gave INEC and himself the opportunity to redeem their image, or images, as the case may be. They had an opportunity to become born again. They had an opportunity to erase their very negative past. But unfortunately, INEC is now oozing. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians have lost faith completely with what happened yesterday in Kogi State in the democratic process. They've lost faith in INEC. They've lost faith in democracy. They've lost faith in government. And what we have now is government without governance. Because it is appalling and disgraceful and shameful that Mahmood Yakubu, a father who have children, will brazenly commit this unpatriotic sin, against Nigerians. For example, in Okene, the beavers were not used at all. There was manual accreditation took place in the entire central senatorial district. In the 5 local governments, I can tell you clearly that there were no accreditations through the beavers. It was manual thing. In 2019, Bello and wrote the results. And that time, Okene local government, for example, had 112,000 as against less than 1,000 by the PDP. But in 2023 presidential and national assembly elections, the beavers was used in the central senatorial district. And because the beavers was used, APC only scored 20,000 votes in Okene local government, while PDP had 12,000 votes. Put together, the votes in Okene local government in 2023, February this year, was less than 40,000. But from the same local government that produced less than 40,000, this time around, APC recorded 141,538. The same local government that produced less than 40,000 now produced about 160 or 50,000 votes. I mean, that is ridiculous. I shared a document with Arise, where you will see
it on the screen,
where you will see that the registered voters, for example, for Adabi local government, I'm not talking of PVC collected. I'm talking of registered voters. For Adabi local government is 114,663. Then you now see accredited voters, 55,115. But APC scored 101,000. When accredited voter is 55,115. How on earth can you have over 90% of registered voters? I'm not even talking of PVC collected. Even in the United States of America, where you have a civilized democracy, you cannot have over 90% votes of registered voters. Because over the years, many are dead, many have, and now you're not even talking of PVC collected. Go to Okene. Okene have 151,243 registered voters. And number of votes cast is 141,538. Is it possible for you to have 97% votes cast as against registered voters, not even PVC collected?
Especially in the context.
And you do not even have up to this amount of PVC collected. That is where they were so stupid and myopic and porous and intellectually stagnant. Because the votes cast is more than PVC collected. Because registered voters is 151,000. PVC collected is less than that. And now the vote cast is even more than the number of PVC collected. That was what happened in the Central Senatorial District. And from this document that I have here, this is from the back end of INEC. We have all the RF.
The back end of their server.
Their server. Yeah. This is from there. And I challenge Mahmood Yakubu. Let him this minute produce a copy of the back end server if this is not what they are going to have. But this evening now, they've started changing the figures on the RF portal. You understand? But we already downloaded it yesterday to about 97.6% uploaded. But now, shamefully, disgracefully, they've started changing it. But we have the back end one. And with this back end one, there's overvoting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 local governments. There's overvoting in 17 local governments, including my local government, the Jumu local government. I won in more than how many polling units in Lokoja Kutu? Where we won, where PDP won, you will find out that they come and tell you that there's no result sheet. But by the time they get to collation center, result sheets will now manifest.
Right.
I have some documents I showed you, mutilated result sheets. I don't know if you can highlight them. I gave Arise about 10 different samples. You can see this now. See the vote of PDP there, changed and reduced. The vote of APC, changed and increased. That is a typical result sheet. One of them. You can flip another one. That from Dekina, from Okene, from Okehi, from different parts of the states, from different parts, you can see all mutilated results. And INEC accepted these results and declared them. And yesterday, INEC made a press release saying that there's complaint from 5 local governments: Ogorimagongo, Okene, Okehi, Adavi, and Ajakuta. And INEC now said they are investigating these local governments. While they were investigating the local governments, there was no report on their investigation. They went ahead to declare the results from the 5 local governments they claimed they were investigating.
In fairness to them, what they said was that the number of registered voters in those areas was smaller than the winning candidate, Mr. Ododo's margin of victory. So they decided not to do reruns in those areas.
But what I'm saying in essence is that when your votes, the vote cast is more than PVC collected, when vote cast is more than accredited numbers, when already result sheets were written even before the commencement of accreditation, these are valid complaints that the evidence is all over the place.
Right. Well,
and we wrote immediately with copies of these discrepancies,
and they didn't do anything about
it. INEC. Nothing happened.
Right.
Instead, Ododo was declared. There's a last document I gave there that showed the disparity between the
from EC8A accreditation
Right.
and the Beavers accreditation. I don't know if that can be highlighted, please. There's a document that I
it's
gave
there,
you
but the monitor is a bit shaky.
that showed the difference between the EC8A accreditation. The EC8 accreditation showed that the EC8A accreditation showed 3 total vote cast.
Right, I'm assured it's
3
up on the screen,
Okay,
even
that's
though
fine.
we can't see
No,
it
that's
because
fine.
the
That's
monitor
okay.
is. Yeah, but it's up on the screen.
The accredited voters on EC8A show that it's 305,122. Then on Beavers RF, it showed that it's 176,734. This is shameful. This is disgraceful. Coming from INEC, there's a disparity between between from EC8A and Beavers accreditation. The values are different. The accreditation value for APC candidates were inflated on the EC8A forms, and this data is from RF. This data is from INEC. This data is from the portal, showing discrepancies between from EC8A and the Beavers.
So basically,
Mahmood Yakubu is the bane of our democratic process.
So basically, your contention is that in areas where you won, there were no result sheets in some instances to enter
so
the
many
results.
instances, and we have videos where I was declared winner, but when it comes to result, they say there's no result sheet.
No result,
but by the time you get to collation center, result sheets now will field result sheet will now.
Yes, just to be clear, I mean, I can see how shocked you are and how clearly
it is terrible.
Offended
it is
you
terrible.
are.
Nigerians,
But
for me, Dino Melaye, I have no problem.
Yeah.
God has been merciful to me.
But according
God
to the
has
results,
been good to me.
yes.
I can take care of myself and my children.
Yeah.
But I weep for this country. In fact, my brother, there was a country. Nigerians are disenchanted. They are disillusioned.
I understand the point you're making, but I have to get a word in there. That I mean, you, according to the official results, came a very distant third. I mean, you got 46,000 votes compared with the SDP, which came second with 260,000 votes, and the APC, which came first with 446,000
I will explain that to you.
votes.
Deliberately, there was an orchestrated plan for Dino to come third, distant third, because they believe if I come second, I will have reasons to knock off the first person.
You'd have a stronger case.
The first thing is that there was a meeting where that decision was taken, and I got the intel that Dino must come distant third. We cannot risk him coming second because he will have a way of knocking off Odudu. So that is why I'm saying that Ajaka should not be excited that he came second, because all those figures from the eastern part of the country are allocated to him for deliberate reasons, because they want him. They are afraid that if I come second and there's a rerun, I have inroad in the east, I have inroad in the central, and Ajaka doesn't have that inroad in the west or in the central. So Dino must be completely knocked off. His votes must be suppressed. He must come distant third. But the problem is this: the same thing happened in the presidential election, where they allowed Labour to win Lagos. It was allocated. Where they gave Kwankwaso Kano, it was planned. It was pure arithmetic, because they already knew that they padded votes in other areas to completely demystify what happens in Lagos, and that's exactly what they have done here. Votes were allocated for Ajaka in the east to make it look, to give semblance of fairness and equity or something. But that is all fraud. There was no election anywhere. There's overvoting in 17 local governments, including the Jumu local government where I come from.
Let me say this. I mean, you're a politician. You've been a politician for a long time. I mean, you've been in the Senate, you've been,
you know, House of Reps.
Yeah, a well-known politician. I mean, do you think the facts of this election bear out the very low level of trust Nigerians have in their politicians?
Let me tell you this. When I ran for the Senate for the first time, I won with about 90-something thousand votes from the West Senatorial districts. When I ran the second time, I won with 60-something thousand votes in the West Senatorial districts. Then you are now saying in the entire states, I won with 46,000 votes. I mean, INEC is oozing. INEC is a shame. And we have children. They forget that there's a God factor in the affairs of men. We will make sure Mahmood Yakubu and his co-travelers suffer and they get the reaction of Nigerians on this, we will use every legitimate means.
Well, to be fair,
every legitimate means.
To be fair to what you're saying,
yes,
and we obviously don't take any sides. I mean, until there is a clear, demonstrable court-related evidence. I understand that.
Documents don't
but
lie.
Obviously, these things have
Documents
to be
don't
verified
lie.
in a
they
court
don't
of
lie.
law.
You can go to INEC portals and speak with you.
What I'm trying to say is that what you're saying tallies with what the situation room, the civil society situation room that objectively monitors elections,
because the truth has no volume.
Has been
you can't
saying,
reduce it, you can't increase it.
But I can't comment on that because obviously that would have to be. But surely this is a classic issue for the new government of Bola Tinubu.
My brother, before now, I've seen different style of rigging. I've seen digital.
Well, you must have. I mean, you're a politician, so you're just as,
if you allow me to express this
guilty,
point,
aren't you?
I've seen digital rigging. I've seen snatching of ballot papers. I've seen inflation of results.
Have you taken part in any of them?
I've never in my life seen this pattern that was used in Kogi State. It's legendary.
Yeah, but have you
it's
taken
scientific.
part?
It's institutional.
Yeah, this one obviously, if it in fact it is the case, I mean, was so. You seem surprised.
Surprisingly done. I never imagined that it could be done.
But what I'm wondering is that have you done any measure of what you're talking about? You say you've seen ballot boxes snatched because I mean it's a matter of who outrigs the other person.
I'm saying in the past. I'm saying that comparative analysis with the past. I've seen different types of rigging.
Right.
But this brazen daylight robbery, I've never seen it before. And INEC demonstrated that they are co-travelers with APC in this business. The speed with which they accepted all the concocted results, all the handwritten, results written even before accreditation, with all the mutilations I have shown you, reducing votes of PDP openly and increasing that of APC, and people voting above accreditation, people even voting above, results of votes shown is more than PVC collected. I've never seen this type before. And it is appalling, and we know that the God Almighty that we serve will punish Mahmood Yakubu. He will not go free. We are going to organize protests anywhere we see him. We are writing letters to all international communities, all embassies. Everybody must know that he is a fraud. INEC is a fraud, and we will not allow it. In an unjust society, silence is a crime.
But beyond writing letters to people and kind of organizing, the public against the people that you say have done this, what will be your next move in terms of correcting what you see as an injustice?
We have written INEC with all the infractions, with all the evidence we've generated. We put together 76 videos attached with their own staff. INEC staff was caught with 1 million naira in a bag on election day. We documented all this and we have sent to them. The law gives him, as the national returning officer, 7 days to review. We will wait for him and see what he will do in 7 days. After that, we will prove to him that government is not owned by those in government. Government is owned by the people. Democracy will continue to be government of the people, by the people and for the people. It will never become greediocracy. Government of the greedy, by the greedy and for the greedy. We have no country to call our own but this country. We will not allow INEC to destroy this country because it's the only country we have.
We've got about 1 minute. I mean, it sounds as though in addition to you pointing the finger at INEC, that the political parties themselves have also become unrepresentative of what the people want. I mean, it's a battle between the political parties and INEC.
Political parties don't conduct elections.
Are ignored, but they're the ones.
Political parties don't conduct elections.
But many of them are the ones who
are not referees in elections.
But they influence. They're the ones who influence INEC.
Why would INEC allow ourselves to be influenced by individuals? Are they supposed to be influenced by individuals?
No, they're not supposed to be. Nor are the political parties supposed to even do any influence.
That is it. But then they are not the umpires. The umpires have a sole responsibility to Nigerians to conduct a credible election. My brother, God is the ultimate one who gives power. I am not a desperate politician. If I lose on credible ground, if I lose on transparent ground, I will congratulate the winner and sell my ideas to the winner. Because at the end of the day, we must play developmental politics on behalf of our people. But where the very person that is rejected by the people force himself on the people and want to rule the people by force, it will not be allowed. And Yaya Bello cannot have a third term because he's bringing a proxy as unmarketable as Yaya Bello is, as unproductive as Yaya Bello is. Yaya Bello is still better than Ododo. God forbid that an Ododo becomes the governor of Kogi State. It will not happen.
Listen, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I want to wish you all the very best. Senator Dino Melaye is the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Kogi State. Thank you very much indeed.
The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.